Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. On tonight's show, we've got the Amun-Ra Squad's Ishmael Bey in the studio with us. Peace and blessings to you, King.
Peace and blessings to you, Brother Kalam. How you doing this evening, fam?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm real good. It's my sister's birthday actually. And I had a wonderful day with her and all of her friends. So, you know what? I'm feeling real good today.
Beautiful. Happy born day to the sister. I hope she really got a chance to enjoy it. That's wonderful, brother.
Indeed, indeed. And you know what? I know you've got literally a jam-packed show in store for us today. You're going to be literally delving into the Moorish paradigm, and I'm sure demystifying certain things, we've heard via, certain groups that have been spouting or spewing out certain rhetoric about the Moors. Hopefully you've come on today to clear up a whole heap of misconceptions pertaining to the Moors.
Yeah, I think it's really necessary to kind of put a lot of things into perspective. I really take a lot of pride in having a history of teaching Moorish history in a certain type of a way. And I think that at this particular time, it's very, very important to dive into the Moorish history, maybe explore things, and put a lot of things into context, because there's been an overabundance of misinformation that's been put out, kind of dealing with a lot of events and things that are transpiring soon. So it's good to put things in a proper perspective, and then people will be in a proper frame of mind of referencing when they're able to see a very good event that's coming up soon.
Indeed, indeed. Whew. You know what? Let's give the audience members a little overview of everything that you're going to be talking about today, because
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of setting the tone. If you kind of take some of the information of what I'm doing, I'm going to dive with just answering some questions. First of all, there was an initial video that was put out that was challenging all Moors, and claims were made, and it was like so there's going to be some answers of questions that were asked of certain videos that were put out by our brother Dr. Reggie. I don't know if he's a doctor or not, but he's a doctor, Brother Reggie, and I'm here to answer some of those questions. There will be some additional questions that he did ask that will be answered by the person that he is going to be debating, which is our brother Sharif Bey, who is a very qualified Moor, a great scholar, and they'll be going and having their debate on April the 10th. So he'll be answering a lot of the other questions also. So I'm not trying to put out any information that's going to interrupt the flow of what they're doing, but I'm here to answer the questions of things that I was asked as a Moor, and also in videos specifically challenging me about information that I that was put out about the Moors. So I'm here to clarify a lot of things, bro.
For that. Let me know if everybody can hear me right now.
Yeah, your mic got cut off briefly, but then it came back on, and it's kind of in and out right now.
Excellent. Okay, you know what? It's literally customary now. It seems as it's actually customary here at Talk with the Titans. We started this new trend of asking, 10 questions that's literally being submitted from our audience members, and questions that I've come up with as well. So I want to actually just, ask you a few questions, and you literally just gave us a nice starting point. You said that you've been challenged by certain brothers within inside of the conscious community about the Moorish information. So I want to know, could you give us let us know which brothers in particular has actually challenged you so far?
Sure. I think the two probably most vocal will be, I find this kind of fascinating because these are two brothers that didn't even know I existed 6 months ago or 7 months ago when this debate started. And then after they found out my name has been constantly coming out of their mouth. Let's see, with Amun-Ra Squad, I kind of play the background, and I just kind of, deal with my things and keep things regulated. But since they found out my name, it's just been like our brother Dr. Reggie and brother Shaka Abmos that just, have been putting out the challenges. So I'm here, of course, to answer it, and then I tried to answer it on a broader level on the stage directly, but unfortunately I was denied that opportunity by them. So I'm here to answer those questions and make it the public record regardless. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that. And you know what? You just mentioned your name, Ishmael Bey. Definitely, I've heard it coming out several times out of Shaka Ahmos's mouth. But
Right.
before I actually ask you about Shaka Ahmos, I want to know as well, because I think a lot of the audience members may not be clued up with the Moorish paradigm and familiar with the Bays and the L's. So could you let us know exactly what the name or the title Bey actually signifies and what is its etymological origin?
Sure, of course. It's or ill or things like that. Those are traditionally, you have a more broader international use of it, but you also have a family use of it if you are a student of Noble Drew Ali in any type of a capacity. It's an identifier of, maybe you're an L or you're a Bay or you're an Ali or you're a Day, a DEY. These type of things just kind of identify you with your being a Moor here in America. The name Moor or the name Bay or L is not actually a name; it's a title, um, and it's a title of rulership or leadership. Or you'll find that the term Bay originates in North Africa, in Tunisia. It was also used in Turkey through the Ottoman, but it started off in Tunisia or North Africa.
Okay,
And it's a
okay.
title which basically means to rule, which is like we hear like obey and things like that. So it's a title to rule.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. See, that's a first. That's the first right there. As well. So now I'm gonna go into this. Shaka Ahmos has actually brought up your name several times. He's been pretty much belligerent to you. I remember there was one phone call in particular, and then I've kind of realized that there is a reoccurring theme. There is a reoccurring calling out of your name. So I don't know. Is there any bad will towards the brother, or is everything okay? And what is the actual point of contention?
I think the point of contention is probably just the knowledge and the information. I don't understand why a man throws diva fits over knowledge and information that a person would ask. He simply asked for some references because he had made a statement, and Reggie was on the couch beside him and in agreement with him when they said that Strabo was the origin of the word Moor. And he then said, even furthering, doubling down, he said to for me to prove to him that the word Moor was used before Strabo. He said that it was 3 BC, and Reggie, sitting beside him on the couch, said that it was 1 BC. So they challenged me to come up with the word Moor being used uh, in that time. Myself knowing the history of Strabo, realizing that Strabo was a student of the Moires dynasty. He was a student there and studied that dynasty, which far predated him. This is one of the ancient tribes of the Moors in India that he was studying. So I gave them the reference of what they can pull up in order to study that this Moires empire predated Strabo, and then they can study that, and it would be something to advance their studies. He looked at it. He said that he's a very quick reader, and within 20 seconds, he denounced it and then went into a cursing tirade and an all-out diva fit. Very disrespectful, very unnecessary, and very, very dramatic. Is my voice or disrespected him or the form of Sonetta Studio or Brother Reggie, the brother that was next to him. I never disrespected any of them. Just answered the question that he simply asked. So I don't know where that bad blood came from. I think that he's just an extremely passionate person. And by him exuding his passion, it comes across a certain type of a way. So it's not something that I take personal, but I don't think that it's necessary to be dealing with academics. When you're 30, 40, maybe 50 years old, it looks very unbecoming and it's very unprofessional. So I would just tell the brother to strictly, deal with it academically and let's keep it there. But one of the links that I will be providing for you to post up will kind of answer some of those questions also, brother.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And for everybody who's actually tuning in right now, I know we've started a little bit later, so please could you just share the link to everybody else who's out there? We've got close to 200 people in right now, but please just share the link out, share it on your socials, your Facebook, your Twitters, your Instagrams, your Google Plus, everywhere. Just share the link out, let everybody
Share the
know that
link. That's right.
we've got the Amun-Ra squad in the building with us right now. The brother Ishmael Bey, and he's going to be covering the Moorish paradigm and answering certain questions. That brother Reggie has brought up certain questions that brother Shaka Ahmos has brought up, and really setting the tone for this upcoming debate, which is on 10th of April with brother Reggie versus Sharif Bey. All right, this is going to be something that's phenomenal. And everybody out there, please support our brother Sarnetta and actually, purchase your tickets, go down, look at the event, come back, give us your critical review and analysis of the event afterwards, okay? So we really want to have a further dialogue on the Moorish paradigm. It's very rarely that it's actually brought up and, spoken out with inside of the mainstream media as Sarnet TV, Titans TV, etc., etc. Usually we're inside of the Kemet verse, the Hebrew paradigm. So this is very, very much so exceptional, and it's very much welcomed. So here we go. Well, let's go into this now. Let's go into this.
Yeah. Let's go into it, because the challenge was put out. The video itself was called Dr. Reggie Calling Out All Moors. That was what the video was called. I was like, oh man, all Moors. I'm ready to get it in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like calling out all Moors. I'm ready for some good stuff. Wah, wah, wah. Not impressed, man. Not impressed. The challenge that went out. It said, show me an independent nation not connected to Islam. That was Brother Reggie's question at 15 minutes and 38 seconds of that video, Dr. Reggie calling out the Moors. Show me an independent Moorish nation not connected to Islam. Well, I just spoke on one. The Moorish dynasty. That's not connected to Islam. That's in India. You also have Mauritania. Mauritania was before Islam even existed. Mauritania is a BC civilization, whereas Islam didn't even exist as a religion until 570 AD. So we're talking about BC, where Moor was already used. Also, Mauritania is older than Strabo. So why? It's checkmate before you even start. You make the claim that Strabo is the invention of the word Moor when Mauritania was around before Strabo even existed, and Mauritania means land of the Moors. So obviously, Moor was being used before Strabo existed. So it's just a novice. He's literally been on the job training for 7 months, and it's really quite pathetic. Why would a person go public? The only thing worse than being wrong is being loud and wrong. And he's been extremely loud, and he's obviously very, very wrong. So I just find out I was very disappointed on some of those claims or some of the things that were being said. So anyways, in 1832 of that video, he states that Moors don't have an ancient origin. So if Mauritania is not ancient, if you're talking about the BC years, then why would you make the statement that Moors don't have an ancient civilization or ancient origins? You also have to deal with the Garamantes. The Garamantes are the predecessors of the Moors. This is common knowledge of anyone who is studious within Moorish history. Studying the Garamantes' history, you start to realize that this is a very rich history that was in what you call Libya today, that was buried and hidden by Gaddafi. And they had ancient waterways. They did ancient digging and opened up the waterways in order to make sure that the lands were fertile all throughout North Africa of their regions. So they were dealing with engineering on an entirely advanced level. But Reggie stands before the people, and he says that the Moors weren't doing anything with technology. They had no history to speak of, when it was the Moors that were digging into the ancient waterways of Africa itself. So it's just so much misinformation, and it's really, like I said, it's on a novice level. But I would like to ask Brother Reggie this. I posted up in the Amun-Ra Squad forum, and I would like for your guests to please feel free to join us on the Amun-Ra Squad forum on Facebook. We have about 12,000 members, and we just ask that if you come and you join, that you are very studious, you bring your pen and your paper, and you get the information. We don't just deal with scholarship, we deal with a lot of current events. But what I posted in there was from this book here, by Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan. And again, the cultural genocide we're dealing with very easy to find on page 15. And on page 15, it's already highlighted right here, it states, certainly the African Americans' children's hero that led their African ancestors, the Moors, in very big letters, he wanted to emphasize the word the Moors, into Iberia was none other than the illustrious General Tariq. So the Moors. Now it's posted right there. Why would this person who's claiming that he's a student of Dr. Ben be in direct opposition of Dr. Ben and then sit here and have a debate against a Moor trying to take Moors away from their African American Moorish identity? What would be the purpose of an individual doing this? That's a question that needs to be answered. Because if Dr. Ben, I would think that Dr. Ben is far more qualified to deal with Moorish history, if you study the history of Dr. Ben himself, than Dr. Brother Reggie. So if Dr. Reggie is denouncing Dr. Ben or in opposition to Dr. Ben, then I would like for him to clarify his position on denouncing that, and what is he saying that he would be in difference with Dr. Ben about, because Dr. Reggie really has to answer that.
Ooh, oh gosh. You know what? I think I need to get Brother Reggie actually in the studios with us to actually, you know what, kind of, you know what, clarify his points that he's actually raising and bringing up. I actually spent some time with Brother Reggie, you know what, in New York, which was absolutely phenomenal. He took us around for a tour of the museum over there. So you know what? Brother Reggie is definitely a qualified individual to talk on certain issues, but as now, you know what, Brother Ishmael Bey is bringing up certain things, we now have to question. We have to question, is he qualified enough to address the Moorish paradigm? And was he indeed actually running away from Ishmael Bey? Ishmael Bey, I'm quite aware that you know, you was one of the first Moors to actually accept the challenge that was issued out, you know, from the House of Consciousness, from Brother Reggie, in terms of getting a Moor to debate. But it seems as though, if I'm not mistaken, they actually turned down your request to actually debate him. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. They definitely ducked me. Both of them was ducking me. But I want to clarify something. Brother Reggie is a beautiful, beautiful brother. Beautiful brother. And I'm saying to meet him is to love him. To understand his spirit and his sincerity and his love for Africa is unquestioned. He was very, very accommodating. I went on the tour with him also in New York City. Very highly qualified in Egyptian history. Very patient. A very wise teacher of Kemetic history. Very, very just kind. And a very good brother. And getting an opportunity to meet him is definitely a very good high point of my trip to New York on that particular trip, and just a really, really good dude. So I don't want anybody to think that it's anything other than academic, but I would not go to my house pediatrician or my house doctor if I needed to get neurological brain surgery. You know, my house doctor or home doctor is the home doctor. My neurological surgeon is the surgeon. So he's totally out of his lane and out of his element. And sometimes when you got your foot in the bear trap, your ego will not allow you to open up the trap and get your own foot out. So he's doubled down, and he's so far out of his element, he's probably going to resort to some things that will be kind of unbecoming and unscholarly, which would be so unfortunate, because he's a very, very good brother, but he's past the level of panic right now because he's out of his lane. And I need those answers. I need those questions answered right away also. One of the things that we were kind of touching on was that Moorish Empire, and you know, where that came from, and as well as the Mauritania Empire. But if you can post up that one link that I posted up, maybe we can explore that just a little bit deeper, because Shaka Atmos was very clear that this had nothing to do with the Moors. So I posted up in the chat room a link to be posted up and studied, just so we can go over maybe the first couple parts of it, and the people can kind of read right along with it. So as you can see, it says the Jat Dahaya on the Jat Iranic identity of the Moors. Just starting it off, if you're dealing with the first key dot that's up there, it says the Moors, or rather Moors, were Jats and hence Scythian and East Iranic in origin. And then if you go down to, I think, the 7th one, it says that the Moors or Moors were close kin to the Amorites of Babylonia and Egypt. And if you go further down the page itself, if you're going down, I would say to page, let me get the exact page for you because I think it's 115. 116. On page 116. Do you see that, brother? Yes. As you go down to page 116, you're able to read clearly that is saying that grammatically, More is a derivative of Mura or Moor by adding the Syrian suffix. Therefore, the original word remains more, and not Mura. What he's trying to do is he's trying to make sure that he is clear that these are Moors and not the key word that they're looking for is the peacock. So he's going into the details of this. But Shaka Atmos, being a speed reader that he is, he scoffs it out of hand. And in doing that, and Brother Reggie was given this link specifically a separate time on our blog talk show. So Brother Reggie's been in possession of this for a month now, and they still deny the fact that this is a Moorish civilization, independent of Islam. This is a BC civilization. We're talking about maybe 300, 345 BC. And I'm not sure exactly why they're so silent in trying to deny this particular history, but we are demanding answers of why they're being silent, because there's a definite suppression of Moorish information coming from Harlem. And it's to be questioned on why our brother Sarnetta, who does have an open forum for us, why this is being allowed. If we are trying to present information in a scholastic and responsible way, and if we are not trying to make it other than what it is, why is our Moorish history being suppressed by the Kemetic and the European community? So that history needs to be studied. That is a good 4-page document to be studied. Again, the name of that, you can find it at the Iran Chamber Society, and it's a very good article by Dr. Samar Abbas. And if you get that history there, I think it will be very, very beneficial for the people to study, brother. Did you have another question real quick?
Definitely. So, in terms of the word Moor itself, that we're familiar, that comes through to us, where we're very so much familiar with the Latin word Moor. So I want to know, did the Moorish, sorry, the Roman-speaking Latins, or the Latin-speaking Romans, was this a word that they acquired from the indigenous people, or was this a word that was already in their vocabulary that they applied to the people of North Africa?
Well, it's probably going to be a mixture of both. It's a descriptive term. What you find as throughout history, you'll find that the word Moor was synonymous with a lot of different things. So time and context is very, very important. You'll find that Moor is synonymous with Ethiopian. It's synonymous to mean dark. It's synonymous to mean those of a certain region and an area. But they got the name, you know, if you study the hieroglyphic dictionary, you'll find the word Moor in Medu Neter that's written, you know, in Medu Neter. You'll see the word Moor in there. And you'll also find out that they got the name Moor by the people, the people themselves. So my findings in my studies have found it deriving from the word Nar, which is an African word in the Lake Chad region. And this word means in many ways the same thing as Moor. You'll find the word Moor being used in various other African languages. You can study the books. Hold on one second. There you go. You can study this book here, which is the linguistic ties between ancient Egyptian and Bantu. And this is by Fergus Sharman. And you'll find variations of the word Moor being used in here. I will post up in the chat room some of my works on that. But if you're studying it, you'll find that the word Moor and its derivatives have been used in various Bantu African languages. So it just takes a little bit of study and an open mind, and you'll be able to find the truth for yourself. But I'll make sure that I post that up in your chat room also.
Definitely. And we've actually got Brother Reggie, who's with us. He's joined us. He's in the comment section at the moment. Hopefully we can actually get him on, inside of this live chat right now. And kind of hear his his opinion or his say on the matter itself. And that being said, I would like to again re-promote Brother Reggie and Sharif Bey's debate. This is taking place on the 10th of April. Please, please, please support the brothers and check it out. Purchase your tickets and be in the building. Because you know what? If I had a chance to be in the building, I would be there. So let's go in, man. Let's go in. Let's keep on going in.
Indeed, indeed.
Before we go in a little bit further, let me actually ask you a question.
Of course, brother, of course.
Because we've got a question here from brother Super Deep Zone.
Yes.
He says here, why do Moors who follow Noble Drew Ali call themselves Asiatic rather than African? And a subsequent question on that is, do you fall underneath the teachings of Noble Drew Ali as well?
Both are very good questions. The term Asiatic just means basically anybody not European. I don't subscribe to the term Asiatic as a definition or description of myself. I honor Noble Drew Ali as the foundation of bringing Moorish history here in America, in particular to urban America. So he is the prophet and the leader, and somebody that I do indeed love and honor. I'm not a member of the Moorish Science Temple. I have never been a member of the Moorish Science Temple. I have never stepped into the Moorish Science Temple. So no, I'm not accountable to answer for anything within their particular organizations. I'm not a representative of them in any way, shape, or form. I do, however, have students that are members of the Moorish Science Temple. I respect my brothers and sisters within the Moorish Science Temple. Shout out to the Canaan Land Moors and the different Moorish groups all throughout. Our brother, the King of the Moors, definitely a shout out to all the family, just all the family. Everybody's on different levels and doing the best job that they can in order to understand and find out the Moorish history and then moving forward as United Moorish culture. But as far as Noble Drew Ali and the group itself, that's for somebody else to actually answer, because I feel like the Moorish history is far broader than an organization and a group. And I think that Noble Drew Ali was betrayed by people within that group, so I would not lend my energy and my presence into a group that's like that, because it seems like I don't see enough advancement from them as a group of where I feel comfortable with. I feel as if it would slow me down. So with Amun-Ra Squad, I created my own environment, and we advance scholastic, and we are very we move in a certain type of a way that's that I feel much more comfortable with.
Indeed, and I will implore everybody to please check out the Amun-Ra Squad group, Facebook group. This is literally the home of the conscious communities. academia, scholarship. This is really the heart of scholarship for the conscious community. As you can see here, the group has grown exponentially. It's got over 12,000 members at the moment, and we have in here loads and loads and loads of different dialogues that takes place. We have over here with Unc Akek talking about evolution. We've got to do with interracial dating. Different topics actually pop up throughout. So please check out the Facebook group, the Amun-Ra Squad scholarship group. And whilst you're at it, please as well, we've actually got a Talk with the Titans Facebook group as well. So check out our Facebook group if you would like to actually have dialogue and speak and talk with the Titans. We have various different dialogues that takes place in here as well. So please support the groups and join up.
Be sure to subscribe to Talk with the Titans, please. Because, I mean, again, this is one of the forums that's definitely necessary for our people to get the most clear information and for it to be disseminated. Make sure you continue to support the House of Consciousness also, because these are the different media outlets like this.
Indeed. Now, okay, let's get into this again. Let's get into this because earlier on you actually said to me, you said that there was a particular form of suppression coming from the Kemetologists against the Moors. So I just wanted you to just go into some more detail on that. And you know what type of oppression? What do you mean that they're suppressing certain information to do with the Moors?
Well, when it's so uneven-handed, the way that the information is being disseminated out without a proper responsible form in order to counterbalance it, then one has to ask the question, you know, why would, and you would know that going to be leaning one particular way, and that's fine. I think that's natural within a person's personality. But if it's only going to be coming out so one-sided, then I would say that, you know, the fair thing to do would be to have someone else on your particular outlet that can properly balance it out in a consistent manner, or at least as evenly as the misinformation is being put out. So I think that that's where the term suppression is taking place. And again, it's not just dealing with the Kemetic community, it's also a European suppression of Moorish history also. You know, there's a Moorish identity that is being robbed of people because you're robbing people of birthrights and identity. Now, it's not to say that all people are Moors, and you cannot impose your viewpoint on someone else. This is America, and you have a right to be a Negro. If you wish to not be a Moor, you wish not to have any type of African tribal identity, you have a right to do that. So I'm not going to be arrogant enough to say that I'm going to force you to be something that you're absolutely not. When I told you that I'm not in the Moorish Science Temple, it's because within my DNA, it shows no connection at all to Canaan and the Moabite history. It doesn't come from the Middle East. There's no Middle East connection within my DNA. It's sub-Saharan Africa. It's Native American. It's even like 6 or 8% Irish. So it had nothing to do with there's some people who do have Middle Eastern within their DNA, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I'm from Canaan when I'm not from Canaan. Proudly, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of where I come from, so it's as simple as that. I'm not going to be something that I'm not. Now, if they want to, I look at them as my cousins or another tribe. If you want to be a Moabite and a Canaanite, I'm going to love you as family. But you have to respect me as being who I am, which is going to be a Masi warrior clan, and me representing where I come from and what my DNA is telling me that I'm from Akan or I am from this area. You know, you understand? I am not one of the Moors. If you want to say that you're a Moabite, I'm letting you know that I'm Nawa. I'm a Nar. I'm coming from another region. And I can prove where I'm coming from because I know what my ancestors look like, and I know where I'm genetically connected to. So I'm going to represent what I really am also.
So, in terms of the Moorish Empire, where exactly did the Moorish Empire begin and spread out to? And I'm talking about the Moorish Empire that we're more familiar with from the 9th century onwards.
Okay. So from the 9th century onward, we're basically dealing with, well, I mean, once the Moors had their rule in Spain, they were dispersed. And a major part of that dispersion was actually dealing with England. It was Queen Elizabeth I who put out the edict to round up all of the Black-A-Moors and to take all of these Black-A-Moors and basically get them out of England as soon as possible. So once she rounded up all the Black-A-Moors and got them up basically out of Europe, they were also run out of Spain. Some stayed in Spain and they went under the name of Moriscos. Some were sent back to Africa, and once they were sent back to Africa, you had the Portuguese. They were sent off islands to Africa also, which was the islands of Nar and Tidar. So that Nar and Tidar are islands just north of the Canary Islands. So they went to the Nar and Tidar Islands. They started to get some Moors and take them back to Portugal for slaves. These Moors went back and then they said that we can get you more West African slaves. And then that's how that slave trade got started on the west coast of Africa. But the first slaves in the Americas did not come from West Africa. The first slaves in the Americas came from Spain. And these first slaves that came from Spain to the Americas, this is what started that entire system. So the first ones came over as Moors. You also had Moors that came over with the Spaniards. So when you study Esteban the Moor is the founder of New Mexico, the state of New Mexico. He is also very influential in key locations of Texas. And that's a very important history that we need to explore also. So that puts it into a little bit of a synopsis for you, brother.
So see, this is another thing that a lot of people have been saying that it was the Moors who was the cause of the slavery or the transatlantic slave system. That the Europeans partake in. So were the Moors responsible or partaked in the slavery of West African people?
Absolutely, absolutely. You have Moors that were absolutely complicit in the slave trade, and before you even got to the Moors that were complicit in the slave trade, you have African tribes that were in other areas that were engaging in slaving of African people also. So you had African tribes doing it before the Moors, and you had African tribes doing it after the Moors. So I'm sure that's probably going to be something that's very, very important, but that's something that should never be denied. You also have to keep in mind that you have two different kinds of Moors. You have the Tawny or Arab Moors, and then you have the African Moors. And this is something that is, again, put out very, very irresponsibly by people who are trying to push a certain type of an agenda. And, that's something that has to be studied and put in the proper context, that having two different kinds of Moors, then you had African Moors that were being put into the slave trade too. They were the victims of, they were victims of the slave, of what was going on. But yet they're being blamed for something that was being done by Tawny Moors or Arab Moors. So, that's why a debate is very, very important, to put things into proper context. Is your microphone on, bro? I think your mic went off. Yeah, I can't hear you right now. Okay, yeah, now I can.
It's going on. There we go. It's working. Here we go. Excellent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you know what? There's a lot of talks about the Moors, and we talk about the Moors from like the 9th century, 8th century, 7th century. And I want to know, you know, because there was the Arab expansion from the, I believe it was the Umayyad Empire, roughly from the 640s, 650s up until the 750s, where they fell, or 749, where they fell in Egypt. So I
Mhm.
want to know, are these individuals that kind of spread from Arabia, Ethiopia, North Africa, and then eventually into Spain, were they the ones who were considered to be the Moors, or were it the people that are, were it the individuals or the people that was already in Spain or already in Northeast Africa? Which ones were the Moors? Was it the Arabs or was it the other people living in Spain?
Good question. Brother, if you don't mind, if you can just click on that one link that I just supplied you with, I think that would definitely put it in the proper perspective.
Okay, can everybody see my screen? It's loading up at the moment.
Okay.
All right, let me try to reload it. There we
hmm
go. So we're
Okay.
looking at page.
Yeah, so yeah, we're looking at let's see what I got here. So we're on page what is it, 546. But if you look down at the, let's look at what Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan, the way that he's explaining this. I think this adds a lot of clarity. If you just kind of look down at the footnotes down there, you see the footnotes at 456. It states that Western historians continually try to impress everyone that the Moors were an Arab people, carefully forgetting that they were two types of Moors. The African Moors, the first to enter Iberia in 711 with Tariq, and then there was an amalgamation of African Asian Moors, the offsprings of the African and Asian Muslims. The Asians, originally from Arabia and other areas around the Fertile Crescent, entered Iberia 12 years, 723 later. So again, he's saying that people are continually trying to impress to everyone that the Moors were an Arab people. Why is people from Harlem trying to do that? Why are they going again against what Dr. Ben is emphasizing? Dr. Ben is very clear in telling you that there were two types of Moors. But then when we go back to what was being stated in another video, yet another video that was dedicated to me, which was called Behold the Pale Moor by Dr. Brother Reggie, he states at 5:15 that he's waiting for me to respond back, but he states that the origin of the Moor is the pale Moor. Other scholar will let you know that the word Moor derives from the word dark, which is why it's synonymous with black. Dr. Reggie saying that the first Moors were pale. Why would he go in front of the media and tell the entire world that he's going to have to explain that at the debate? Why would he sit there and say that the first Moors were pale when the word Moor itself means dark? So, and why would he again go against Dr. Ben, who's making it clear that it is Western civilization that's trying to make all Moors one thing, when the responsible thing is to understand that there were African Moors and then they were the Arab Moors? So why is he working overtime trying to have us answer for all of these other Arab people like Muley Ishmael or these other people that he's talking about as if they were the African Moors? That's to be questioned. So we're going to deal with the suppression on April the 10th.
Let me get this straight, because it seems as though you are actually working in cahoots with Brother Sharif Bey for this upcoming debate.
I'm working in cahoots with the truth. I was called out independent of Sharif Bey. This video, I'll just point out again, on Behold the Pale Moor at 5:15, he said that he was waiting for me. He didn't say that he was waiting for Sharif. I tried to answer him, but after he said that he was waiting for me, he refused to face me. So I don't know why he was calling me out specifically and then not facing me. But I'm here to answer to what he called me out for. I've never made a video on him before. He's making videos on me. So it's Shaka Atmos who's saying that his lecture after the debate is dedicated to me. I never dedicated a lecture to Shaka Atmos. I don't even know who he is. So they're calling me out, and then they're crying victim as if the big bad Moors are beating them up. This is not anything that I asked for. They didn't even know my name 6 months ago. So I'm here to answer the charges, brother. Nothing more and nothing less.
Do you know what? I actually wish that there was an undercard on the table, because you know what? That would be an absolutely like mind-blowing debate that could ever take place. That there, you know what, brother, Ishmael Bey versus Shaka Ahmos on, you know what, the Moors, and are black people Moors, or are these certain groups of people Moors, etc. I'm going into detail because I know Shaka Ahmos, you know, he prides himself on, you know, his scholarship. He did a whole lecture series on Islam, on the origins of Islam.
Right.
You know what? So I would really like to see somebody actually challenge him on that lecture in particular and information pertaining to the Moors. It seems as though, you know what, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It seems as though, based upon certain videos, a video that he put out, or a video that was actually on Sarnet's channel, that he is now getting himself informed with the Moorish paradigm. He's now becoming informed. He's now wanting to start to read, you know, Noble Drew Ali's works, etc. So, you know, I would really love to see that debate take place, or even a conversation or a dialogue take place between you two, because I think that would be powerful. I think, you know, Amun-Ra Squad is obviously the home of the conscious community in terms of academia and scholarship, and Shaka Ahmos is very vibrant, and he also prides himself on his scholarship as well. But you two, the different personality dynamics would be an incredible watch. That there would be something that I would pay top dollar to see. Hopefully everybody else kind of feels the same way as me. If you do feel the same way as me, please get at brother Sarnetta, get at brother Shaka Ahmos, for there to be some type of, I think this is, well, this has been brewing for some time, you know, some type of conversation, some type of dialogue, some type of debate between the Amun-Ra Squad and Shaka Ahmos. This has been brewing for quite some time now. I know that there has been some contention between the Amun-Ra Squad and Shaka Ahmos. I don't really want to bring it out too much, but I do know that there is a certain disagreement that is there. So I would love to see that take place in a public domain. And if everybody's feeling the same way as me, please just let me know if you're feeling the same way as me in the comment section. Do you want to see a debate or dialogue take place between the Amun-Ra Squad and Shaka Ahmos? That's what I want to know. Please let us know in the comment section down below.
Oh, bless his heart, man. That brother can't handle the squad, man. I mean, he got a long way to go. He's not qualified to handle the squad, to be honest with you. I'll be more than happy to have a dialogue with the brother, maybe even do a lecture side by side with him to maybe clarify and put out some proper information. He says that you know, he only debates his equals or whatever and all this other, you know, stuff that, you know, from Dr. John Hibbert Clark. He's out of his element too. He has a long way to go. So bless his heart. You know, I did try to answer his call. He refused to face off with me. So he can dedicate as many lectures as he wants to me. I need the advertisement. So, you know, salute the brother. Like I said, I've never met him before. Wish him nothing but well. You know what I mean? But, you know, as soon as you step into the paradigm and mention my name, I'm going to answer the call. So please leave my name out your mouth because you're not qualified to deal with the Moorish history, and it would really be beneficial to your career because I will air you out. So anyways, I have a part of my Armored Raw Squad library also. I happen to have the same book that Brother Reggie was dealing with a couple weeks ago that deals with evolution. This is like the hot spot. This is the hot topic, right? Evolution, right? So I want to explore a little bit deeper into the page since we're in the Armored Raw Squad Grand Library Part 2. You know, I got Part 1. I got Part 2. So the Grand Library, as we go and we explore the reconstruction of the original Moors, as you can see. You see that, brother?
I see it. I see it.
Okay. So we have the skulls that were found in ancient Moorish areas. Somebody got their mic on? Okay. So with this reconstruction here, this is what I say the most ancient people of this region is who you call the Nawa. And the Nawa have been here in this area for as long as it's been in existence. This is who the original Nawa are. These are the original Moors. Okay? So I don't want you to take my word for it. You have to really explore and get the books. Explore and get the book Black Morocco. Black Morocco is giving you the first-hand accounts from black people, their experience, not from the European explaining it for them. It's them telling you where they come from. If we go here on the Trans-Saharan Diaspora, on page 109, it will say that Jacques Meunier argued that the Haritan are the descendants of black people who inhabited the Dra Valley since time immemorial. Imagine how long ago that is. You've been in the Dra Valley, which is Morocco, since time immemorial, as long as they know. This book here explains to you how the Berbers came down into their region. I just showed you what the inhabitants originally looked like in that area. So when we say that the Moors are black, why is somebody else trying to tell you that the Moors are pale? If the African Moors are telling you that they've been here since time immemorial, why is somebody else trying to tell you that they came from somewhere else? Who's trying to suppress the information and take you away from who you are? So all you have to go is one page deeper on this book, and this one will tell you. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here we go. You know what? That was the one that I showed you just now. That was the original German. That was the original German right there. Did you know that, brother? You over there in that area? This right here? This is the original German. I was on a different page. Yeah, that's the original German right there.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you see the Moorish heads on the different crests and stuff, that's what they're talking about. So I'm going to show you what the original Moors look like, because that's where it really gets deeper on what we're talking. This one right here. This is the original Moors right here. Can you see that one? Now tell me that doesn't look like Cousin Ray Ray and Pookie and everybody else at the barbecue. You see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Ray Ray, Pookie, and them. Right? Now, go one page more. This is the original Israelis. See that? Now, I want drug pushing Harry to take a real good look at that.
And could you give us the reference? Could you give us the page number?
Sure. This is the reference. This is on page 171. 171. And this is the book right here, which is The Evolution, The Human Story, by Dr. Alice Rogers. So this is the original Israeli. So when we tell you that you have imposter Arabs and imposter Europeans fighting for an area that they don't even belong to, the Reconstruction people tell you who they are. So we're right when we say that we are Moabites and that we're Canaanites. But I just happen to come from this tribe here, which are the original Moors of Morocco. These are the original inhabitants of Marrakesh. Okay? So we're here just to bring the first-hand documentation so that we can put it into the public record. Did you have another question there, brother?
I do. I've got some correspondence that is coming through at the moment that Brother Reggie would actually like to join the conversation. I'm hoping to get Brother Reggie on. I've sent him off the link just now as we've just finished speaking. So hopefully we can have Brother Reggie in to actually answer certain things that has been brought up today.
Wonderful.
And that would be real good. But as we're here, you know what? This has been going on.
I got some more spears if you need them. I mean, I don't know if you had another question or if you. I mean,
hold on to those spears real quickly because there's this question, there's this statement that's been made time and time again that black according to science means death from the Moorish paradigm. From Noble Drew Ali, I believe, stated this. I just want to know, from your standpoint, what does black mean to you? Does it actually mean death? And is the term black and Moor interchangeable, or are blacks and Moors two completely separate, different terminologies?
Oh man, you got some good questions, bro. That's a good job right there. You must be Team Osiris. Yeah, black and Moor, depending on time and context, absolutely can be synonymous and mean the same thing. Time and context means everything, because one can mean at a certain time just a description. At another time, it can mean a specific tribal identity. So it can mean multiple things. That's number one. Number two, the black according to science meaning death. That's something that's going to be answered on the 10th. So I'm actually doing a very delicate dance right now because I don't want to step on my brother's toes or take away from the wisdom and the truth that's something that's going to be answered on the 10th. Some of the things that I'm actually doing a very delicate dance right now because I don't want to. As well as there's going to be some powerful information that Brother Reggie will be sharing also. So I'm going to respect their particular forum and not put any spears that are going to be friendly fire. You understand? So, but yes. That is something that should be answered by the Moorish Science Temple, and by me not being a member of the Moorish Science Temple, that is definitely something that can be answered and will be answered on April the 10th, brother. Absolutely.
Excellent. I just want to welcome in as well. We've got the Real Black Atheist that's with us right now. Uncle Keck, I'm on Raw Squad Up.
I'm Raw Squad Up, brother. How you doing, brother Ed?
I'm a Raw Squad Up. Peace to you, brother Unc. How you doing, bro?
Man, you better stop throwing that evolution book around like that, man, on them dudes, man. Cut that out, man. That ain't fair, man.
They need to see what the original Moors look like, bro. They need to know what the original Israelis look like. They can't run around thinking that Harry had some legitimate claim. You can't run around with that. I mean,
Yeah, that's the actually showed the reconstruction, forensic evidence. And the last Homo sapiens, I think the first one you showed was Homo habilis, and they was the first ones that inhabited Germany. You're absolutely right. And the first people to inhabit, the first Homo sapiens definitely looked like that in Europe all the way up to about, 4,000 BCE?
Absolutely.
Before they start mixing, so, yep, But you cats not fair, man. You're not playing fair-ish.
Oh no, I'm just minding my own business. I asked him not to bring my name up, bro. I'll just mind my own. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite books. We got that. We keep them on deck.
Oh,
we keep them on deck.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know we keep them on deck. Yeah,
Always. Locked and loaded. You know how that go, bro.
keep them on deck, yo. We do. We do.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that Morocco piece you talked about, you know, we keep it on deck too. You
You
feel
gotta do
me?
that. You
And
gotta, yeah, you gotta have it. You gotta have yours. You know what I mean? You gotta keep hot.
yeah, yeah. So those sub-Saharan people are the original people in Morocco before those Berbers come in. You know what I mean? They
Absolutely.
still fighting
Half
to this
jet
day.
black. I mean,
They
yeah,
jet
you
black.
gotta know you gotta know who the Nawa and the Nar are, man. You gotta know who they are and identify them. You know, and then you'll start to understand your own journey. You know, once you're able to understand your own journey and where you fit in, then you start to realize that there were Mandingo tribesmen who were actually rulers of Morocco. But that history is never talked about. Why don't people ever talk about the Mandingo tribesmen who were the rulers of Morocco? Who's trying to separate them? Who's trying to make it sound like there were only pale Arabs and all of these crimes were being taken place? I don't want anybody to take my word for it at all. There's a link that on standby right now that can be shared with the public. So if Brother Kalam wouldn't mind taking that link and kind of just, you know, opening it up, we can read about it directly from the Encyclopedia of the World's Minorities by Carl Scuddish.
Uh-oh, hold on real quickly. Uh-oh.
I know, brother Reggie.
We've got the Titan with us right now. We've got Brother Reggie in the studios with us. Peace to you, Brother Reggie.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Indeed. Peace, bro.
All right. All right. Peace, Ishmael.
Peace to you, bro.
Okay. So, peace. Certainly, a lot of things are going to be cleared out on April 10th. But I'm going to be brief. I'm just going to make a few comments. Were you trying to say something before I?
No, I was speaking to you. This brother Unc. How you doing, Reggie? What's going on, man?
Peace, Architect. I'm a raw squad up.
I'm raw squad up, brother.
Okay. So, all right. Anything else? Can I? A few seconds.
Yeah. If I can make this point, and then we can bring you right in, because I have this link up that I wanted to kind of emphasize right quick. Because there's questions that aren't being answered, like the links that were supplied to you about the Moorish Empire. I never heard back from that. That was a link that I sent to you like about a month ago that was dealing with the BC civilization of the Moors that's clearly linked as a Moorish empire, when you and Shaka said that Strabo was the origin of the word Moor, and you gave the date of 1 BC or 3 BC, and Shaka gave the date of 3 BC. Whereas the Moorish Empire was a Moorish empire that existed before Strabo ever even existed, as well as Mauritania, which was a civilization that was before Strabo ever even existed. So the word Moor was indeed used. And I asked you live on the show, do you concede that point? And you never said that you conceded that point, but you're clearly proven as incorrect on that assertion that you made. So I'm asking you, do you concede that point now, or is that something that you're willing to answer on April the 10th? Because you said that Strabo was the origin of the word Moor, and Mauritania predates them. What do you have to say about that, brother?
Okay. Well, we are talking about sounds, and we're talking about words. Sometimes people use sounds and they think those sounds mean the same thing. That empire that you're talking about, maybe it has something to do with the Arabs, maybe it does not. The fact of the matter is that my bigger point is that the debate got narrowed. Nobody is censoring you, Brother Ishmael Bey. Sarnetta's couch is open to every. You could, just like other members of the Amin Ra squad, you could come down and you could sit on the couch. I think there's an open invitation. On the issue of this debate, the issue is always, are we debating the right Moor. Can everybody hear me?
You kind of went off
Can you
briefly,
hear
but
me?
yeah, I was able to hear you. Yes.
Yes, Brother Reggie, we can hear you.
Absolutely. Yes. We can't hear you now, but
The
Okay, now you're cutting out.
debate. Okay.
I know you have
Hello.
signal issues going on. Maybe just kind of get closer to the router, your Wi-Fi, and hopefully we can hear you better.
yeah,
Hear me
definitely.
now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So the issue is, are we debating the right Moor? No one is knocking your knowledge on Moors. Obviously, teach Moors. That's not the issue. The issue is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the first to make the connection between our people and the Moors. Is that correct?
well, that would be in difference of what you had stated in your original video, which was called Reggie's Challenge, Dr. Reggie calling out all Moors. You stated at 54 minutes and 45 seconds, leave Noble Drew Ali out of this. I'll repeat, at minute 54:45, you stated, leave Noble Drew Ali out of this. So what are you talking about now? Now you're trying to hide and include Noble Drew Ali when your original call out
I'm
to
not
all
trying
Moors,
to.
in your
I'm
original
not
call
trying
to
to
all
hide.
Moors, you said to leave him out of it. So why would you now change your mind?
Because in having this conversation, which is an important conversation, the when this debate is promoted, the debate at some point gets streamlined into an actual who am I going to debate. So the it looked like the most important audience is the Moorish Science Temple of America, where the word Moor was associated to our people, and that it would be best to have a conversation with that group because in that group has issues that are problematic to our people. For example, black according to science means death. Like, I leave the Europeans here long enough to government. And several other phrases. There are many phrases, there are many associations of Moors I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with all Moors, but all Moors have not gotten together to fix the stuff that is dividing us. However, in this course of action, there are things that I said like, behold the pale Moor, which I am accountable for. April 10th, I will deal with that. Now, let's just be honest, Brother Ishmael Bey. Let's be honest between men. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, brother, but in your video, Behold the Pale Moor, at 5:15,
Let's move past that.
I didn't
Let's
cut
move past.
I didn't cut you off, brother. I wanted to answer your question. Since you just put up the words Behold the Pale Moor, I wanted to point out that in the video Behold the Pale Moor, at 5:15, you stated, I'm waiting for Ishmael Bey. That's what you said in that video. So I'm here to answer your charge. And now I'm asking you to answer the charges that I'm putting upon you, dear brother. I didn't ask for you. I didn't put on any video on you. I pleaded with you, in fact, over and over again to leave me out of it. But you insisted in doing so. So now I'm here. And now you're going to deal with me, whether you like it or not. So what we're dealing with right now is, brother, I'm going to ask you, do you know when the first recognized Moorish American ever even came here on this soil? Do you have a date of when the first recognized or registered Moorish American was here? Was it Noble Drew Ali, brother? Is that what you're trying to imply?
No, that's not what I'm going to imply, and that's not what I am going to deal with. I am going to say, Ishmael Bey, you can make yourself relevant, but there's a debate on April 10th, and the only way that you're involved in this debate is helping, being an understudy, being a good servant of Sharif Bey. You are not, except for that, you are not part of the debate. I don't have to answer any of your questions. I have to deal with the person that I am debating. Now, you could, after the debate, you could debate any else you want.
I'm
right?
sorry, brother.
But
I didn't catch what you were
we have
saying.
an argument with, we discuss some things, we lay some ground rules. We lay some ground rules about how we're going to deal with each other, and then I find you on a post saying something that I think is inappropriate, demeaning my character, right? Making a joke when I thought that me and you were cool. That when you do something like that, brother Ishmael Bey, then I say, you know what? There's an integrity problem. So I'm not going to debate you, but you can come to the debate or you can watch it online, right? And be a good understudy to Sharif Bey, because that's your job right now, to be an understudy for Sharif Bey.
All right. Thank you so much, brother. And what I would say is this. I'm happy to be in service of any Moor or anyone that is seeking the truth. If there's anyone who's committed to getting to the truth and the real African history, I'm here to serve. That's my job. I'm not here to try to be a leader. I'm not here to be a self-proclaimed doctor. I'm just here to serve the people and to make sure they're getting the unadulterated truth, raw and uncut. And I'm happy to be in that capacity, dear brother. So if you think that that's some type of an insult, you don't know me at all. I play the background. Like I stated, brother, you didn't know me 6 months ago. You didn't even know my name. You didn't know my affiliation with Al-Ra Squad, and you were making an error in your arrogance, being loud and wrong, of saying maybe Al-Ra Squad will allow me to do this and allow me to do that, not even knowing who I was. So I'm happy to always be of service to the people. But what I am going to do right now is, hold on, brother, I did not cut you off. I let you flow. So what I am going to do is I'm going to repost that question that I'm asking you dealing with the Moorish Empire when you tried to say that they were not connected to the Moors. Now, as we go back to that, on page 116, it says, grammatically, Moray is a derivative of Mura or Moor by adding the science suffix. Therefore, the original word means more on page 116. So you are trying to separate them from the Moors, whereas the real factual history is it is indeed a Moorish empire. And you're gonna have to deal with that. Now, furthermore, now let me continue on what I was saying, since you're a guest on my show. And you're also a guest on my family member's show.
I don't have to be. Wait, no, I don't have to be a guest. So I will end it. I will end the call. If you don't give me an edgewise, you can talk yourself. If you want to do a service for the listeners, we could talk for a few minutes.
Brother, you are welcome to. You are welcome to tuck your tail and run. You are welcome to.
No, but see, I am not debating you, brother Ishmael Bey, and you know what? I didn't even insult you. You are helping. You're on a research team to Sharif Bey.
Brother, you're so emotional.
You are
Calm
not
down.
the person I'm debating.
You're so emotional. Calm down. What you so jumpy?
So did you disrespect me?
All I
Or
said,
you made say to the people you made a joke about me.
the only joke that I said
After
there,
I
brother,
shook your hand.
brother,
After I shook your hand, Ishmael Bey, like a brother. We had
I
a
just
good day. I made no jokes about you.
I just wanted to clarify something there, brother. All that I said was that you need to put on the Puff Daddy silver suit because you're going to get wrapped up on the stage like a Chipotle burrito. That's all I said, brother. I wasn't insulting you. It wasn't a personal shot. I was just trying to say that it's a wrap. That's it. You're wrapped like a burrito when you step on the stage on April 10th. I was just using that as an analogy. I wasn't taking a shot at you. It wasn't anything personal. It was just a joke of me saying some people were saying that Brother Dr. Reggie would win. Some people were saying that Sharif Bey would win. I was just saying that it's a wrap when you step on stage on April the 10th. Now you're taking that as a personal shot and throwing a tirade over that? Brother, I just got done saying your praises of how much...
I'm taking that as a personal shot because I shook your hand and you shook mine, right? And we agreed. Brother. We agreed. But see, what you can't do is be honest with yourself. See, that's that backstabbing stuff, right? That's that Judas stuff. That's the problem with the black man and a woman in America, right?
That is so dramatic, man. That is so...
Because you can't even apologize. You put me in a Puff Daddy suit, gonna wrap me up like a Chipotle in a conversation with Ishmael Bey, and with Sharif Bey, and that is not disrespectful. At the same time, right? He says or they say things that you disagree with, but because of Islam or because of your Islamic brothership, you show that he's your brother. I did not disrespect you. When we shake hands, that's what men do. We shake hands and we say, this is how we're going to act. Okay. So now you smile and now you play. So again, now if there's not Kalam, if there's
what I find.
Sorry, brother Reggie, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Well, what I find fascinating is this. Brother Reggie was silent as a church mouse, while the person on the same couch next to him was cussing me out over and over again. He never said, "Brother, calm down. I'm right here sitting next to you on this couch while you're cussing out a man who didn't disrespect any of us." No, Reggie didn't say a single solitary thing. I didn't say anything. You're trying to cut into the character of Sharif Bey simply saying shalom while some security people were walking next to him. Within the Moorish culture, within the temple, they use this term like Islam or shalom when you're trying to say, for multiple reasons actually. Sometimes it means hello, sometimes it means goodbye, sometimes it's affirmation, like instead of saying amen, they say Islam or shalom. So he was in a person's way who was walking by and simply said shalom as in excuse me. But yet you try to make it sound as if it was some kind of treachery. Meanwhile, you're standing in front of an Asian woman telling her to call you a nigger. So you're mad at somebody else for moving out of the way and saying shalom. Meanwhile, you're in front of an Asian person telling her to call you a nigger. You're not somebody that I'm really going to take serious. So you and your emotional tirades, you're welcome to be a guest on my family show. Because he is a part of my family, and this is my particular show tonight. You're welcome to come on as a guest. But brother, you're not equipped to debate me. The simple things that you're doing, you're light work to me. So what you can do is you can be silent and you can learn, or you can answer these simple questions that I'm asking you.
So I would say, continue helping Sharif Bey. He needs your support. He needs your help. It's a very important debate for our people. Our people have moved through this world without these terms, whether it's African, whether it's Moor, whether it's Negro, whether it's color. Our people have moved through this world without these terms. These terms don't mean anything to our people. We either accept them or not. But to make our people a name, it shows that you are a fool. It does not matter what our
Man,
people are called.
do we really gotta do that, bro? Do we really gotta do
No, you
that?
just did it before me.
You
You
don't
just
want to
did
do
it to
that.
me.
You don't want to do
You
that, bro.
just did it to me.
You don't
Our
want to.
people, no matter what are called, or our people. We use languages like English, like Arabic. That's fine, but those words don't describe who we
So is that
are. We are humanity.
Is this a roundabout way of you justifying why you told the Asian woman to call you a nigger? Is that what you're trying to justify, brother?
No, I was on that particular matter.
Yeah,
I was interviewing for Sinetti's show. I'm just telling you what happened.
So why
I wasn't
did you tell her to
clear
call you a
as whether
nigger?
or not that woman could speak English, right? And at the same time, she was a foreign person. So that didn't mean anything to me because I was clarifying for an audience, right? So and really that has nothing to do with you at all, right?
All right,
I have to deal with that. But
Okay.
that is just simply an observation.
Okay.
You are entitled to make that observation.
Yes.
Like I'm making the observation is that you are a research person for Sharif Bey.
I understand.
That's simple as that. But I didn't demean you by saying that.
No, not at all.
I deal with the issue of me talking to the Asian woman in public. We talk to a lot of people in public. We elicit what they have to say, and it's good for our people to hear this woman calling us a nigger, right?
Well,
if you want to use that, I think that is very unintellectual.
I would say this, dear brother. What I would say is this. I happen to be fortunate enough to live in Japan for like about 3 years. So I would say that Nihongo ga skoshi hanasemasu. That means that, yeah, I speak a little Japanese. And the word for a black person is kokujin. So as opposed to you telling her to call you a nigger in the future, ask her what it means. Just say kokujin. And that means a black person in Japanese. So, you can tuck your tail and you can run, or you're welcome to stay here and you can listen, but I'm going to continue with my flow of information.
I don't
That's
speak
okay,
Japanese.
brother. That's okay.
I speak Japanese.
All right.
You're not
No
impressing
problem, bro.
us, because you
No
want to
problem,
be
bro.
everything else but African. So you want to be more, you want to be Nord. That's fine. I'm saying independent of what people call our people, they are our people. The problem with this issue with
Brother Reggie, I'm here with some information right now. It's clear that you don't want to answer any information, so I'm going to continue with my flow of information.
Okay, Kalam. So it was a pleasure, Kalam. I hope you tune in on April 10th.
Brother Reggie, can you just wait one moment? Just give us.
No, because this is insult. This is insulting, and I told you before on these shows. This is a brother who we shook hands. And we talked about having a good working relationship, right? And on the side, he's finding ways to disrespect me, and I haven't disrespected him. I didn't call him out. This debate was looking for people who would answer the call, and we chose somebody. We didn't choose Ishmael Bey. We simply did not choose him. That's all. We can't choose everybody.
Brother Reggie, I just wanted to ask you to hold on one moment because I would love for you to promote this upcoming debate, but I just need you to stay there for one more moment. Everybody else, the audience member, audience, please, if you're loving the information that you're hearing so far, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're loving the information. It has been fire so far. This is really a great build-up to the April the 10th debate that's going to be taking place. Sharif Bey versus Brother Reggie, who we have right now live in the studios with us. I love this contention that's actually taking place between Ishmael Bey and Brother Reggie. Why do I love this so far? Because it kind of alludes to, it's a precursor to the fireworks that shall be displayed on April the 10th. Please support Brother Reggie, support support Sarnet TV and also support Sharif Bey in this endeavor. And you know, if you can make it, please come down to the debate and actually view this debate. Be very much so critical. Take your pens, take your paper with you, and then afterwards we're going to have a breakdown. We're going to have an analysis of what transpired and who brought forward, you know, some groundbreaking information, and you know, whose information was able to stand up at the end of the night as well. In that
Soldier Kalam, I wanted to emphasize something right quick. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry, finish your point. It's your show. Go ahead,
okay.
brother.
And in that being said, I'm actually going to bring it straight away to Ishmael Bey. But I'm going to ask everybody to please keep their mics muted, and then we're going to bring it straight back over to Reggie to kind of speak upon a debate that's actually going to be taking place on April the 10th. I'm trying to drown into your heads as much as possible because I want you to support this debate. I think this is this is literally the first debate that we're going to see Reggie featured in, and I can't wait to have our saber, our teacher, Reggie, breaking down some information for us. You know what? I haven't had the you know, the experience or the privilege of actually having Brother Sharif Bey, so I have quite a lot of affinity right now towards Brother Reggie on this upcoming debate. Even though me myself, I do have conflicts with certain things that Brother Reggie states, and I do have certain conflicts with what the Moors state as well. So this is going to be real interesting for me because I know it's going to be jam-packed with information. Brother Reggie is a scholar, he's a researcher, and by the tenacity of what I've viewed of Sharif Bey, I know this is going to be something that's powerful. So I'm going to bring it real quickly now. So everybody, please keep your mics muted. We're going to go straight over now to Brother Ishmael Bey. Ishmael Bey, after you've spoken, please allow Brother Reggie to have his say, because we definitely want to promote this upcoming debate.
For sure, for sure. I wanted to definitely reiterate what I had stated earlier on the show today about Brother Reggie. Maybe you didn't hear it. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. But what I wanted to say and reiterate was that I was blessed with the opportunity to meet Brother Reggie and went on the tour of the Met with Brother Reggie. And he's a beautiful brother. He has a wonderful spirit and a sincere love for Africa. He's very informative, very, very patient, and he's a very, very good, sincere, dedicated Egyptian scholar, African scholar, and a brother that we should support. So I wanted to reiterate that of what I had stated earlier. I'm saying that he's out of his lane in dealing with this particular topic. And in doing that, he will start to go and deal on an emotional stage and on another level that's not going to be as scholastic as what he is into other parts of his field. But he's a very genuine and loving, sincere brother. And it was one of my high points of New York, being able to meet with him. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Okay? So you can go on to the brother, and please continue, bro.
Thank you, thank you. So, Brother Reggie, please, the floor is open for you now to respond to that, or actually, please, talk about this upcoming debate and what can we look forward to. Can you give us some extra information, you know, where the debate is going to be held, where can they purchase their tickets, etc.? If you're there, Brother Reggie, this is to you. Your mic is not muted, but you may not have any. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. So, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Ishmael Bey, time, exceptional time with Ishmael Bey, and so I don't have a problem with Ishmael Bey, except for the comment that he made, which I didn't appreciate. So that is the issue with Ishmael Bey. The topic of the debate on April 10th. Doors open at 2 o'clock. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. On April 10th at 2 o'clock, the debate is: are we Moorish Americans or are we not? The second part is the Noble Drew Ali plan better for our people or not, basically, right? Is the Noble Draw Lead plan people or not? So the debate, or I think minimal. I don't think that they're expensive. That when we deal with the topic or the question of identity, my opponent has to prove that we are Moorish Americans. I don't know if that is something that has anything to do with Brother Ishmael Bey's work. American seems more the Noble Drew Ali's work. I'm the person who is basically going first, proving my case as a plaintiff, and Brother Sharif Bey is back to make his refute what I have to say. So I have I have more of a burden of proving my case that we are not Moorish Americans. The second part, of course, is Noble Drew Ali's plan better. If he does not prove part of the debate is actually mute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you again. You faded out momentarily, but we can hear you again and see you.
That's taking up my bandwidth. So let's see if I can turn off this camera. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so again, the second part of the debate is the Noble Drew Ali plan the best for our people? Okay, now the Noble Drew Ali plan is a, I don't know if it's a plan, I know it's the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Again, I don't think that that is where Brother Ishmael Bey's forte is. So, and then it's against my plan, which is the Black City Sovereignty plan. So we're going to decide which plan is better for our people, the Black City Sovereignty plan or the plan of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So I think that though I have the burden of proving that we are not Moorish Americans, if they do not win on identity, and I think the second part of the debate we could have to be mute. I think. Can you hear me?
You're cutting out. You're cutting out at the moment. Go ahead.
Entity. So they will have to establish that we are Moorish Americans from the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So the problem with bringing in extra material, extra research material from people and scholars like Brother Ishmael Bey, and there is Brother Jabril Hernandez, and then there is the Wasatars, is that if the Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't specify it, then it becomes problematic if he didn't talk about it. If he, so they have a burden of proof to say that if the Prophet did not talk about it, was he really talking about it? And that is one of those things with debates that become fun, because if the Prophet didn't say it, then you're using the Prophet who died in 1929 you're basically resurrecting him for your purposes. And the problem is with religion is that, you know, religion is usually kind of like set in time unless it's crafted well enough to be timeless. But Noble Drew Ali did not talk about archaeology. He didn't talk about paleontology. He didn't talk about geography that well. So if they're going to speak for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you know, they better use the Circle 7 Quran. And if they bring in extra material, you know, that's up to the audience to accept it. But he said specifically who Moorish Americans are. And so that is where we are going to debate it. So Brother Kalam, you see where this debate is a little bit different than what Brother Ishmael Bey is talking about? Do you see how it's a little different?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right? How it's a little bit more narrow.
I'm with you. Yes. Yeah. I'm
And
with you.
so the issue is, for the researchers to look at what the Moorish Science Temple of America's stance is on identity, because it was the Prophet Noble Drew Ali who was the first to make the connection for us, for other researchers to come and study. So we give him credit. So what we're going to do is we're going to examine some of the things that he said versus what is the reality of who we are. Okay. Any other questions?
No other question at this present moment in time. I would just like to, share this with everybody who's viewing at this present moment in time. This is the debate that is actually taking place. Can everybody see my screen? Just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir. I see the screen. Absolutely.
Okay, so this is the final showdown, the debate that's going to be taking place with Brother Reggie versus Sharif Anael-Bey. Are we Moorish Americans or not? Is the Black City Sovereignty Plan a better plan than Noble Drew Ali or not? Now, you know what? This is actually real incredible because we've actually got a lecture that's going to, I assume it's going to be taken just prior to the debate. And we've got the Amun-Ra Squad's own Dr. Ma'at, who will be there on April the 10th. This is Sunday, April the 10th, 6 days from now. And she's going to be giving a lecture on Is the Black Woman God? So please come down to this event. If you're nearby, if you're local, it's only $25 to actually enter. This is a donation. Please give $25 to come in, and this will be taking place at the National Black Theater on 5th Avenue, Harlem, New York. And the doors are open at 2 p.m. EST, which is Eastern Standard Time. And I hope that this is going to be live streamed. So if it will be live streamed, this will be starting 7 p.m. GMT for the people who tune into this channel in the UK. Please support your brothers and sister as well, because we've got Dr. Ma'at. You know, she's powerful lecturer and a member of the Amun-Ra Squad. So I'm actually going to pass it now back towards Brother Ishmael Bey, and the floor is yours, Ish.
Absolutely. I'm happy to continue. I'm happy to continue with the information of the questions that were asked to me by these videos by the Harlem representatives, and I'm here to answer those right now. The charge was made that there were no Moors that were dealing with rebelling against the slaves. The question was asked, where were the Moors in rebelling against the slave trade? So if you can take that link that I just supplied, that last link at 838, if you can print that up, we can read that right now so we can kind of maybe get some of the facts of what happened, because Harlem is saying one thing and the history is saying something else. So let's see if we can get to the bottom of some of that important information, shall we? The name of the book is The Empire of Necessity, Slavery, Freedom, and Deception in the New World by Greg Graydon. And we're talking about on page 196. It says that Muslims were a part of the very first major slave revolt in America, which took place on Christmas Day, 1521, on a plantation run by Christopher Columbus's son. Scores of Wolof men taken from Senegal revolted, killing Spaniards, burning plantations, and winning a week of freedom until they were captured and hung. After this rebellion, Spanish authorities issued the first edict, to many to follow, prohibiting the enslavement of Africans believed to be Muslims. Among those banned were blacks from the Levant or raised among Moors, people of Guinea, and Golofs or Wolofs. So anyone that was raised amongst the Moors in
Brother
the
Ish,
very...
Ish, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
What page is this?
That's on page 196. No, the one that was posted at we're talking about is this link here, brother. Hold on one second. This link right here at 8, pull up the link right there on 840, brother.
The Empire of Necessity.
Right, right. Did that link come up at all?
It's not allowing me to. Okay, let me try to view the ebook. No, I don't think it's allowing me. Page 19.
Yeah, page 196 on the very first slave result.
Try. No, it's giving me a very limited view of the book, unfortunately.
Okay. Did you click on the link that I just supplied at 840? Did you click on that link specifically?
Yes. Click on it again. No.
Oh, maybe it's because you're overseas. Maybe
Yes.
maybe it's access because you're overseas. Okay, okay. So I'll post that up on in the Amara Squad forum. But it's dealing with the Moors or the Muslims that were a part of Christopher Columbus's son plantation. They were part of the very first slave revolt in the Americas. Further, we have in dealing with Moors being the Maroons. You know of the Maroons of Jamaica, of which even Marcus Garvey was a descendant of the Maroons of Jamaica. We have another link here that was just posted up, and maybe you can click on that. Let's see. But it reads, let's see what it is. Okay. It's on page 23 of the book Perspectives in Caribbean Psychology. And it deals with the Moors. In 1503, the Moors were no longer protected by the royal pardon of the Spanish crown. It further reads down there that we have come to know them in our history as Maroons. The Maroons are known only for their rebellious and resilient nature, but also for their development in intricate infrastructure such as aqueducts, water wheels, windmills, and the beginning of the sugarcane industry. So again, these Moors were known as the Maroons, and we have the Maroons that were rebelling in Alabama, the Maroons that joined along with the Seminole tribes in Florida. We have the Maroons that were also in Jamaica. So these are Moors that are to be recognized on that. Did you catch that page, brother? On that?
I'm on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it says that they were later to be known as the Maroons. So the question is being asked for me to bring the evidence in these videos of Moors rebelling. Well, that's been proven. So I guess Brother Reggie has now left. But I mean, there's an overabundance of information that I'm here to answer for any of the questions that my name was brought up about. As far as regarding the history, I'm happy to share the information, and the information will be up in the Amara Squad forum. If anyone has the additional questions, we'll be happy to share some of that information. That's all.
Okay. And real quickly, for everybody who's actually tuning in new and aren't really familiar about Talk with the Titans, Talk with the Titans, give me 1 second. Please keep your mics on mute. Please keep your mics on mute. Talk with the Titans was birthed out of the idea that the intellectual giants, the titans of the community, should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, debate critical information affecting our community, proposed by you, our audience members, our community. And you lot have done a fantastic job of actually bringing to my attention certain names and individuals and topics that you would like to have on the channel, such as Zaza Ali, David Banner, Usay Kufor, You know what? So many different teachers that you've actually put forward to me, and I'm definitely going to try my very best to put forward these teachers on the platform for our community for their learning. What I'm going to ask everybody to do who hasn't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. We have you know, an array of titans passing through the studio every single week. You know what? I was actually going to show you the channel itself and show you how many titans have been passing through. We've had Polite. He's been on last week, and he gave a 2-part series. He broke down the missing PowerPoint slides from the debate between him and Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. We've also had the Rabbi Harry Rosenberg in with Sarnetta, with Zion Lex, with Polite, with the Amon Ra squad. It was a real heated show. So for anybody who hasn't actually seen the show, please go into the Talk with the Titans playlist and go back and just check out that show as well. We've also had, you know what? We've also had Young Pharaoh. This is literally the young firecracker himself. He's been on the show. That was a really, you know, eye-opening and interesting, you know, a dialogue that took place. You know, that brother is a serious brother. I think, you know, a lot of people are sleeping on him. I think, you know, he's definitely the new wave for the new, or for the younger generation. The older generation, give him some time to actually come up and rise, because I'm pretty sure, you know, sooner or later that younger generation is going to start to elevate to the elder generation and hear what the greats such as Dr. Ben, Professor Clark, you know, George Jameson, all these great teachers had to say. So please give some time, give some leeway for this brother. We've also had Uncle Keck in as well. You know, that was real powerful. He was actually going against a white atheist. You know, a lot of times you ask for these debates, not only you know, amongst the black conscious community, but let's actually branch out. Let's branch out into the other communities. Let's actually challenge them, you know, challenge their version of the story. And that definitely took place, where Uncle was taking a stance and was saying, nope, I will not be drawn into the European or the Hebrew paradigm. I'm sticking with my African, you know, thought process. You can't draw me in. And I love that. I love the way he stuck to his guns on that. And yeah, definitely, we're gonna actually try to have some much more debates taking place amongst, you know what, our conscious community and the broader world in general. And if you haven't already checked out the playlist, Speaker's Corner, please check out that playlist. We have tons of debates that takes place over here in the UK. Over here in the UK, we have loads of debates that actually take place. We have Kemetics, we've got atheists, we've got Hebrews, we've got Jews, we've got Muslims, we've got all different types of people that come together, commune, to actually have these dialogues with each other, to challenge each other. And you know, we have real controversial topics such as, is Jesus racist? You know, is the black man God? You know, is Muhammad a false, or is Prophet Muhammad a false prophet? Is Islam a false religion, etc.? So please tune in and check out all of the different playlists that we have on Titans TV. And as well, we're actually going to be dropping some of the debate rounds that you haven't already seen. You know what, courtesy of Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. So stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, I'm going to give it straight back to Brother Ish and Brother Anka Keck. Actually, I do apologize. I apologize. I'm going to have to bring it straight to Anka Keck right now. Anka Keck, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Don't let Ish off the hook, man. Ask some hard questions, man. I got some hard questions to ask him, man. All right, people texting me, man. Let me ask some of the questions people are texting me. All right, let's see.
Peace to you, brother. What's good, bro? What's good, man?
Black African Power, man. You on a hot seat, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Nice and cool right over here, bro. What's good?
Yes. Okay, so here's a question.
Yes, sir.
The question is, does Nar mean more? That's the first question. You know, I actually wrote a response in a paper on that. But please explain to the people, does Nar mean more, right? And does it predate the Greeks? And if it does predate the Greeks, is the term synonymous with more during the time prior to the Greeks?
The time prior to the Greeks.
Two-part question.
Okay. So what you'll find is this. You'll find that the word nar, that it's a derivative, or the later derivatives of it can be more, because it's interchangeable as far as the use. The original term nar is a tribal name. It's also a location, and it's also a language in the Lake Chad region of Africa. This original tribe is just one of many different tribes. If you're dealing with the Sahara people, that are branches of the Nilo-Saharan family, so you can study the Nilo-Saharan family. You can find the nar there. And basically what nar means multiple things. It means elements. So you have parts of the nar that means water. You'll find part of it that means fire. You'll find part of it that means land or marsh. And this part of these different elements is also where you find it with Moor also. So this is where you find where the term Moor and black being synonymous. I just posted up a link that was in the chat room that Brother Kalam can share, and this will add a little more clarity of maybe how you get the dark or the black from the word nar. So we can click on that and we can read it. This is from the Principles of Gaelic Grammar with Definitions, Rules of Example by John Forbes. And if you go down on that particular page, we're talking about on page 106, it says that it is employed to express the implications as na faciem, may I not see tomorrow. God forbid. The na is often written as nar or the old noir. If you deal with the N-O-I-R, if you look at that even in French, it means the black. If you look at nar, and if you look at the word like charcoal, you'll find that if you're studying, you'll find that all of these different words are all synonymous with one another. So you'll find nar, which is like you'll find that even in Arabic. You'll find char, which is where you get like charcoal. You'll get where you get burn, where you get black. This is where you get the same descriptive dark term being used in history. You find this also being found in Persia. You have this also being in India. You find this also in other different languages, be it like the Hindu languages. So it's a very long and ancient history of a streamline of words. You have also the use of it that goes into ancient Kemet, or this part of Africa also. So you're able to find, I think you'll get some good information if people are looking for us breaking it down a little bit more. They can look at the ride that we took from Philadelphia to New York, where we were able to go into a little more depth, having the time to go into that with the source referencing. So I think that would be very beneficial for the people also, brother.
Mm. All right, now, okay, we also, the question is it possible to get a few references? Are you still stating that Narmer means more?
I'm saying that if you look at the word, if you're looking at the king Narmer, you can look at it as it's an individual, but if you're looking at it as in what it symbolizes, it can represent a tribe of people. And you're dealing with people that are going at war, a tribe that is going at war symbolically. If you look at the oldest attestation of Narmer, it's written in two different ways. It can be written with the catfish and the chisel, and it also can be symbolically with the falcon. So if you're studying that particular history, you'll find out that it is identifying a tribe of people. And that's actually a history that we're going more and more into. And as my writings of the finishing of my book is complete, I'll be able to give you the exact details of source referencing that you'll be happy to study. But it's going to be a part of the footnotes in the book.
So I personally don't agree with Narmer being synonymous with Moor. You know what I'm saying? That's just noted for the record. But you know, that is what it is. You feel me? Let me see. Last question, I believe. I think the problem that a lot of people are having and is that we have a group of Moors that will emphatically say that everybody, and I think this is debate going to be over that, everybody is a Moor, or everybody is a Moorish American. Now, I, for the record, don't agree to that, and I think that Africa is a large place. I also recognize that the term Africa was applied although it's still an indigenous word, it was applied to one small province. So before certain time periods, there wasn't a continent called Africa. As a matter of fact, the African didn't identify with continents. And so I think we really need to learn about times and geography and really to tie the whole thing together. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the whole continent being called Africa is a European application on a Latin Roman understanding of a small province. That now modern science has picked up the term and call everybody Africans. But if we take it back before that, you really have just indigenous people traversing around the world as they transform, right, and adapt to their environment. And so the whole argument is real funny. The real distinction becomes when these pale-skinned people come into play and the dynamics of everything seem to start to change. You feel me with that? So it's a very, very interesting study when we talk about the Moors, when we talk about Narmer. It's a very, very interesting study, and I think our mind personally has been confused because a lot of people don't study like that. Like they wouldn't understand who was in Germany first, up in Europe, Southern Europe first. They might not get that. They might not understand that there was no place called Palestine. There was no place called Europe. You feel me? So that's like an anachronism when you say Homo habiligensis was in Europe, when the truth is Europe is not at 30,000 BCE. There's no place like that. There's no people coming in to separate those things like that. So we need to really, really take our time, and and like there's no Israel at 30,000, 40,000, 100,000, right? And so I understand the study, Ish. Right. So when you say those people were in that area, I know that at 40,000, 50,000 wasn't nobody called the Moors there, but there were a brown original people that was there, right? So it's a lot of study to get to the point where we're at. And
what we're cutting through right now, Brother Ike, is we're cutting through. Is your mic on?
Yes.
There's an echo that's taking place. We're cutting through the misinformation. And we're trying to get into just making sure that we're getting a streamline of accurate information and concerning the actual history. That's really what's most important. If Brother Kalam could just take a moment and click on that link right quick, or right after he finishes making his point, then we'll be able to continue on that. Please, Brother Kalam.
Okay. You know what? We're literally running till the end. We're literally running to the end of the show right now. I want to actually continue the show, but I think I might have to continue it off air. But before I actually do that, I want to get certain questions actually asked from our audience before we go actually off air. I don't know. Should we do? Nah, I don't think you don't want a second show. So I think we're just going to keep with this one show and we're going to wrap it up real smoothly. The question here is, what is the Moorish language and writing script? And this is coming from Mind Over Matter. Is there an original Moorish language and writing script, and what is it?
Well, that's a good damn question, eh?
No, it's actually a very easy question. There isn't an original Moorish language as in being identified as a Moorish language. You'll find that there is a Moorish language, but in saying that, it's actually just a branch of African tribal languages. African tribes have thousands and thousands of languages. Each tribe has their own dialect. So in doing that, there isn't necessarily a Moorish dialect, but what you'll find is later on in time, there was a collective use of a Moorish language that was kind of being used by other tribes. So there isn't necessarily a genesis point. It took the same process as any other language, starting off with click languages and then into other various different African languages. So you're labeled a Moor. It depends on the different contexts. It's a very broad use of the word. So it'd be irresponsible to say that it started at this particular date. There isn't one.
Excellent. And you know what? There's another question here. It says here from Ruben R. Do the Moors believe King James was black, considering his son's name means black boy?
I don't find that King James is black at all. He's a homosexual European.
Straight and direct to the point.
King James not a Moorish? Are you kidding me?
My research does not see him as being a black person, and I have his love letters that he wrote to the Duke, so I have a copy of it in his handwriting that he would, so he was a homosexual European, and I have the love letters to prove it. So.
All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to open up, because literally we're actually at the end of the show. So I think I'm going to open up, I'm going to post out the link that we can continue this dialogue off air with those people who would like the link. Please message me on Facebook. First and foremost, that is on Kalam, Kalamspel. Okay, Kalam Spel. And if you message me on there and ask for the link, I will send you the link direct. But we have to close out the show very shortly. All right. We've got another question here. Can you answer, Ishmael, what kind of DNA test can we as black people take in order to try to pinpoint what exactly or who we are?
Another very good question. I want to thank your listening audience for asking such very good questions and for being so lively. I know there's many people that are actually viewing, like over 300. So again, another very good question. There's a couple companies that I would probably recommend. If you're looking for specific tribal identification, I would probably recommend AfricanAncestry.com. It's owned by Dr. Rick Kittles. It's a black-owned company. Dr. Rick Kittles, the way that he collects his particular data is he will be able to identify the tribal. So if someone else is like maybe Igbo, these have specific genetic markers. So tracing the polymorphisms, they're able to say this comes from this tribe. Another person may be a Khan. The other companies may not have those specific identification of what tribe you come from, but African Ancestry, that's their particular specialty. Again, you're only dealing with a very small piece of your DNA, maybe 1% or maybe even less, but it's going to be an identifiable marker of connecting you to specific African tribes. If you want a more broader read of your DNA, I would recommend 23andMe. The 23andMe gives you a more broader read of your overall DNA. So this is not just dealing with your African tribal identification. This is dealing with how much your quantum is actually. So it may say you're 80% African and then this part European, this part Native American. It gives you a more fuller breakdown of your genetic breakdown. So I would recommend either 23andMe if you want a broader read, or AfricanAncestry.com if you're looking for something more specific. So that's what I would recommend.
Okay. 1 second. I've got so many messages coming through, so many people that would like to have the link for the show. Real quickly, let me just see if there's any questions on here. We've also got, a show. Nasi Javel is actually going to be, coming back on the forefront again. I can't wait for this. Nasi Javel breaks his silence, and this would be on Wednesday. This Wednesday, it's actually starting. Sorry, tell a lie. I believe, yes, it is this Wednesday. It's starting at 7 p.m. EST via Global Media Inc. production. So please tune in for that. And in saying that, I'm talking about the Hebrews. We're actually going to have some Hebrews on the show on Thursday. On this Thursday, we're going to have ISUPK come in on the channel, and this is going to be great because we're going to have some of the ISUPK members over here in the UK that's going to give a great presentation and a great lecture on certain things, going to be answering, some real profound questions as well. And we're going to also have the American ISUPK, the Harlem ISUPK, that's going to be a crazy, a double team of ISUPK members from America and from the UK will be on the show this Thursday at 6 p.m. EST. So yeah, there's so many people actually asking for the link right now. I'm sending over the link to you. I don't know. I'm going to ask this question actually. Do you lot want an overrun of the show? Do you lot want a second show coming on? There's certain questions that's actually being asked or claims that's been made about an Amun-Ra squad, and certain controversial topics has been raised. So if you want to actually ask Amun-Ra squad some questions, I'm going to get Amun-Ra squad in and Team Osiris in the building with us. And if you want to ask them any questions, I'm going to actually start a second show. If you want that second show, just let me know. Type in the yes, type in the ones, as I'm seeing second show, Kalam. I'm seeing them, the movement, Salam Sound, Blacksmith, etc. I can see you lot. I'm actually going to do a quick 1 hour show after this show. Red Clark as well. I see you. I'm going to do a 1 hour show where we're going to ask Team Osiris and Amon-Ra squads some real thought-provoking and conscious and controversial questions. I see you lot all just going ham right about now. Wab Funk, Nana Amma, Sci-Fi. I can see all of you lot just going ham right now. Hustler, Aubrey, Jacqueline. I see you, Zergan, Cedric, etc. You know what? It's going crazy right by you. I think now you're gonna break the internet. So I'm gonna start a 1 hour show after this one, where you can actually ask the Amon-Ra squad some real interesting questions, and you can actually join in as well and ask them some questions live on air. So this is going to be real powerful. What I'll ask you lot to do is please share this particular link on YouTube. That we've had Brother Ishmael Bey in from the Amon-Ra squad going in on the Moors versus the Morons, where we even had Brother Reggie jumping in as well. So please share this link on your Facebooks, your YouTube, your Googles, your Twitters, all over your socials. Let everybody know we had Amon-Ra squad, we had Ishmael Bey being vocal. You know what, for a very long, first time for a very long time, and we love it and we appreciate our brother. But we're definitely going to actually, just if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And after this show, if you are subscribed, you will see it pop up straight away on our homepage. On our homepage, you will see on YouTube, Titans TV, the live link. When it goes live, you will see it. Just literally tap in there and you can join in with the conversation. Ishmael Bey, if you have anything else that you would like to say to our audience, the floor is open to you right now.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Amon-Ra Squad, the Magi, the Team Osiris, the Masi Warrior Clan, the NARS, Sonetta TV, New Covenant, your great work at Titans TV. I want to thank you for having me on your show. I want to thank you for the great questions. I want to thank Brother Reggie for participating and everyone else who had questions and actually wanted to come in and share and exchange knowledge and information. I feel like we can all learn from one another. I think that the community will learn a lot on April the 10th from both sides and get some really, really valuable. Thank Titans TV again for having me. I hope that everyone is able to subscribe to Titans TV. Please feel free to join us at Amon-Ra Squad Scholarship on Facebook. Please participate where we share, we exchange knowledge and information and all learn from one another. And again, I just want to salute you and thank you for hosting such a wonderful show, dear brother.
Definitely, definitely. And I would like to salute as well Amon-Ra squad up, and of course, our audience members for tuning in, for subscribing, and for continuing to support us and our endeavors. So salute to everybody, and look forward to the next link in the next show. Peace.